I thought it'd be fun to talk about the topic of what is some non-horror movies that you feel like could work if they just got that genre bend or that twist where horror was kind of introduced to it.
Ooh, that's a good question. That is a really good question. And I should have wrote it down. I felt like I had an answer earlier because I seen the question and now. All right, I'm gonna let you start this one off while I brainstorm.
Here's the thing: like any rom-com could be switched into a horror movie really easily.
That's true.
It can change super fast. But like, if I was to actually go, people are gonna hate me for this, but I think a really good takes place in the 90s horror movie would be You've Got Mail. If you did it as like it starts out as this cute thing, and then you find out that like he knew the whole time who she was, and it gets dark, and like he starts picking off like people in her life one by one, and making it look like accidents, but she's like not convinced like what's going on.
New
I'm gonna say
the Notebook.
Really?
Yes.
Where would you turn the horror in the Notebook?
I'm gonna say when the part where he's hanging on the Ferris wheel, forcing her to go on a date, pretty much, or let go.
Pretty much.
He lets go. He survives. He goes crazy. Goes on a killing spree. Stalks her. Kills everybody that she's with. Every single time she gets into a relationship, not in front of her though. They just end up disappearing, and then somehow he comes back around.
So for just years, he's like chasing after her. They have this whole relationship, but in reality, he's murdering everybody she knows.
No, they're not together.
Oh, she just denied him. They never got together.
Yeah, so she denies him. She thinks he died when he let go of the whole thing, when he said, I'll let go, which, again, very, very toxic. Ladies, I don't know what you call romantic, but that's not romance. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I pursued my woman like that, I'm sure if Mick pursued his wife like that, we'd either be 6 feet underground or in prison.
Wait. So you don't think that like grabbing a woman and just shaking her until she says yes is okay?
Nah, I don't think that.
All right, I'm going to follow your advice on that. You're a smart man, so I'm going to go with you.
Hanging off of. First of all, I'm scared of heights, so there's no way in hell I'm going on that, let alone hanging in front of that. Like, date me or I'm going to let go. Who are you?
I wouldn't even gotten to the sentence. The sentence would have never happened. It wouldn't have been like, date me or he's dead.
Right before the whole. But yeah, you could say the Notebook. I think that could be a twist. That could be a twist.
I think any sci-fi movie could be twisted into a horror movie. I mean, I feel like that's just cheating, though. I feel like that's
Fear. Was it Mark Wahlberg? Fear? That movie.
That was a horror movie.
I don't know though. I thought they kind of counted as like a.
They didn't call it a horror. You're right. They didn't call it a horror movie. It does not go down as horror. But let's be real. That was a horror movie.
That's a wild situation.
That's a weird movie.
Yeah.
Dude, and I remember when I watched that because like that came out in like 1996, I think. I think it was 96. Yeah, 1996.
Mm-hmm.
That was like one of Mark Wahlberg's first, like, because he did Boogie Nights, and I think they were trying to figure out what was best for him at that time. Like he did Basketball Diaries. I think he did Boogie Nights had come out at that point. And that was like his big. Holy shit. Like, oh no, Boogie Nights comes out a year after. So he didn't even hit like that mecca of like stardom yet. So I think after Basketball Diaries, they're just trying to figure out what to do with him. There's like this rapper turns actor. Like, where do we go from here? And I think they did Fear, and like it just like I don't think anybody really understood what it was when we went to go see it. Because when you go see it, you're like, oh, like girls were like, oh, Mark Wahlberg, let's go watch him. But for the guys, it's like, oh, this just seems like pretty intense or whatever, pretty crazy. Because he's like screaming at one point, but like, it's not going to be that bad. And then he's like fingering her on the roller coaster, and then all of a sudden, like the best friend's trying to sleep with the daughter, and or the daughter's best friend's trying to sleep with the dad, and then like the dad's like, it was just so chaotic. You're like, this is not what I was expecting.
Not at all. Not at all. And I watched that. I don't remember when I watched it. It was on Popcorn and Pints. That's all I remember. Reviewing it on there.
widely considered. Basic Instinct is widely considered already a horror, and a lot of people consider Sharon Stone's character to be not one of the first female slashers, but like up there. Like if that movie had been more on the horror side than it was on the like big budget movie side,
Mhm.
I think that could have been, because I mean that was a big movie. That was a big deal. And that was straight horror. That's an interesting one.